Once upon a time, nestled between emerald hills and a crystal blue river, lay the peaceful village of Whispering Willows. The village was named after the tall willow trees that lined the riverbank, their long branches swaying and whispering secrets in the wind. Life was simple and joyful in the village. Children played in the meadows, farmers tended their golden fields, and the river provided fresh water and fish. In this village lived a curious boy named Arin and his best friend, Lila. Arin was always asking questions, especially about the river. Why does it whisper so much? What is it saying? He would ask. Lila, though just as curious, would laugh. Maybe the river tells stories to the willows, she suggested. One day, while exploring the riverbank, the children met an old man named Grandfather Rilo. His beard was as silver as moonlight, and his eyes held the wisdom of many seasons. The river does speak, Grandfather Rilo said when he heard their conversation. It warns those who listen. Warns about what? Arin asked. Grandfather Rilo's face grew serious. Long ago, the river grew angry. It rained for days and nights, and the water rose and destroyed the village. The river gave warnings, but people didn't listen. Now, the Whispering Willows helped carry the warnings. Arin and Lila exchanged worried glances. How do we know if the river is warning us again? Lila asked. When the whispering turns into a roar, and the water smells like the earth itself, Rilo said softly. The children promised to stay alert. Weeks passed, and life continued as usual. But one evening, as Arin and Lila played near the river, they noticed something strange. The willow branches swayed wildly, though there was no wind. The whispers were louder, almost a growl. Arin knelt by the water and sniffed. It smells like wet soil, he whispered. Just like Grandfather Rilo said, Lila gasped. We must warn everyone. They raced back to the village and ran to the central square, shouting, The river is warning us! The flood is coming! The villagers gathered, murmuring in disbelief. Children and their games, said the miller. There hasn't been a flood in generations. Grandfather Rilo stepped forward, tapping his staff. Listen to the children, he commanded. The river never lies. We must seek higher ground. The villagers hesitated but trusted Rilo's wisdom. They quickly packed essentials and followed him up the hill to the ancient stone watchtower. That night, the rain came gentle at first, then stronger. The river swelled and roared like an angry beast. By dawn, water had engulfed the village. Homes were submerged. The fields became a vast lake. The villagers huddled together on the hill, watching their home disappear beneath the muddy water. Tears streamed down faces young and old. Our village is gone, a woman sobbed. Not gone, Grandfather Rilo said. Just waiting to be rebuilt. Days later, the rain stopped. The river calmed, though it no longer whispered. It sighed, exhausted. The villagers returned to find destruction. But amidst the wreckage, the willows still stood, their branches heavy with water. With resilience, the villagers began rebuilding. Arin and Lila helped wherever they could, their hearts warmed by the gratitude of their neighbors. Grandfather Rilo called a gathering under the largest willow tree. The river has reminded us of its power, he said, but it also gave us a warning which saved us. We must honor the river and to listen to its whispers. From that day on, the villagers planted more willows along the riverbank. The children were taught to understand the river's language, and every year they held a River Day festival, thanking the water for its gifts and respecting its strength. Arin and Lila grew up to become the village's guardians, teaching future generations how to listen to the Whispering Willows. And so, Whispering Willows thrived, forever guided by the wisdom